Hello everyone, welcome to yet again a new video on modding Thomas. I made a video about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago in the middle of August. I think it was the 15th or the 16th, 15th actually. Um, and I made a video about focus icons, and I know I haven't actually, I do make coding videos too, not just GFX videos, so I decided that for this video I will be doing country events and also news events and how you make those. I'm going to be showing two different ways you can make the events. One way is going to be an event that triggers based on some certain requirements. So I guess for say you want an event to fire after a specific date, like maybe an election event. Then on this page you would, I'll be showing this later, but here you would use this requirement. Basically, you could have like two dates there, but it's not always necessary, and sometimes it can cause problems because sometimes there's problems with some of these events triggering. I've had that problem myself many times. Usually just because of something stupid, but yeah. So first I'll be doing and the other event which I will be showing is an event that will trigger via another event, a decision, a focus, and yeah, basically stuff like that, stuff that trigger through like focuses, which I will get to later on. How you do that? It's actually pretty easy. But sorry, it might sound like my nose is a little stuffy. It's getting pretty cold since it's getting cold since it is almost autumn, which is my favorite season in my opinion. I kind of just like it overall. Um, but yeah, I'll just get straight into this. So this is just gonna be a really, stupid event. It's not gonna be like anything realistic. But basically, Mexico. There's a referendum in Texas, and basically you have the option of it succeeding and then it fails. So we'll get straight into this. So let's just say I like to put these comments here so I know what the events actually are. So there's going to be a Texan referendum. Let's just say this will trigger past the 10th of January 1936. And oh yeah, this is also important because then it will go for every country. Original country should be Mexico. You also want for only once on and put that. I actually have had this problem before, but sometimes even though if you put fire only once on, the event will fire again. So what you can actually do that is just if you have this problem, I'm not sure where it comes from, but let's just say it sets this country flag, and let's just say if you can't get this event if you have this country flag. By the way, the programming software I'm using right now is Visual Studio Code. I know in my previous videos I did use Notepad++. I recommend that you use Visual Studio Code. I kind of just like the UI better, and one of the most useful things, if you didn't notice, is you can basically rapidly type in stuff in, so like different requirements, or I guess add a command. So let's say adding political power, stuff like that. That's actually pretty convenient. you could do it much faster than on Notepad++. So if you want, you can switch to Visual Studio Code if you want. I guess I'll put a download link in the description. It takes like 2 minutes to install, not even. Anyways, let's just say the event adds political power, and stability. And if you don't know, like where are you getting these commands from, or like effects, there's this page which I will link in the description down below. I'll link all 3 of these pages. Very useful, by the way. There's other modding wiki pages. There's like scopes, which is like basically scopes is just basically like, for say you want an event to fire for a specific country, or let me just get it. So scopes would be this. So this is this is what I was talking about before. A tag. So you basically put a country's tag equals, and then the curly brackets, and you put a command within there. So for say you're playing as Mexico, so let's say, you know, if the USA gets negative stability because of the referendum, so they'll lose 10 stability. Without having this event fire for the US, so this can be useful in certain circumstances. Some of these can be used in limited context. This is used a lot like in bigger mods, like for lore stuff, stuff like that. And yeah, there's a lot of different scopes that you may find useful. So anyways, this is just the starting event. So you can do the localization here. So let's just say Texan referendum. The state of Texas has agreed to holding a public and open referendum on its future as a part of the United States. So then you have the response. Usually it's A, unless you change it yourself. You get this from here. Obviously, you could have different options, and that's where you'd pick it from, where like names would be from. So let's just say interesting. So that's just gonna be the starting event. So let's just say you get the other event. So Texan referendum. Let's just say Mexico wins. So this will go for Mexico again. Let's just say this can be based off of you know, you could do like in a video I did a while ago, I used scripted effects. So let's say hypothetically you're playing as Mexico, and like I guess you have the option to increase support in Texas for Mexican annexation. So you could say like this event would only trigger if a variable is at some sort of at a certain value. So the way you would do that, I think it is check variable. No, I think it's check. So check variable, and you put the variable here. let's just say this is obviously made up, but this is just like if this is just an idea. The value is, I guess, 50. I think it's compare greater than or less than. I actually something like this. I believe it's exact. I could be wrong, but the page for the variables is there's a separate page for it. I think I can find it at the bottom here. Where is it? X. Oh, right here, variables. So here we go, a check variable. There we go. So that's correct. So compare, and the different ones you can use it here. The compare. So you can have equals, greater than, or equals, greater than, stuff like that. I covered that in a previous video. So I'll put a card for that if you would like to watch that. I'll probably make. It's an old video. Honestly, it's pretty cringe, really. So I might make it. So let's just say this triggers if it's at this effect. Let's just say, you know, you have this country flag, this one. So we'll put a second option. Let's say like the second option is like, no, we don't want this to happen, or something. So this would be like Mexico loses. Let's say it triggers if you pick that option. So let's just say this triggers past the 20th of January. Why not? So let's just say transfer state. This is the command you use for transferring states. I'm not sure what the idea is. I think you probably can find it under here. So sometimes, let's see, Texas. Nope. Goddamn. But they're in game. You can go in and use debug mode or tdebug mode in the console, and you can find it under there. So actually, let me see. Damn. Yeah. Sometimes this actually works and you can find the state you're looking for, but there's also I'll have to get it real quick. There's a map here of states, and looks like Texas is 375. So let's say this adds 500 political power, and it gives you 10 stability plus manpower. Why not? Wait, what the? That was weird. Add manpower. Let's just say it adds 1 million. So you get 1 million manpower. Totally not unbalanced. But you know, we can also just in case this triggers again, you can have Texan referendum, Mexican victory. So not as country flag, and it's that one. So yeah, that'd be Mexico wins. So let's just say, you know, Mexico, the referendum doesn't go in their favor. So this would happen if you pick the second option. Pick this. Remember that if you have repeat IDs, then that will, like the event IDs, that will cause some problems. So just remember to change the number of it. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, but if you're like when you're starting the event, you want to have basically this here, and in every single event where it says, you know, it says add namespace Mexico, or, you know, whatever you have, just make sure that it's the first thing, or part of the ID, the title, the description, the option, etc. So just, make sure you do that if you're doing this for either a custom country, or maybe you want to change a namespace, like for say on my mod for Borzhai Chospolsky, which I will put a link for its description. For its Discord server in the description. For the Commonwealth on there, I'm using the Poland event file, but I changed the namespace to Commonwealth, so you can do that if you want to change it. And if you're doing it for a custom country, then have it like that. So yeah, so let's do Mexico loses. So let's say set country here. So you have this. Yeah, let's just say same date. And let's just say this is defeat. So here, and let's say that you lose a bunch of political power, instability. Again, I'm just using like these because it's simple to do. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. I use set country flag before. This is where you have news events and country events fire via an event or a decision focus, etc. There's a lot of different stuff. You can set rules. You can do a bunch of different stuff. So obviously these aren't like the only options. Another way you can add popularity, party popularity, ideology. Let's say neutrality, popularity minus 10. The ideology thing here. This is just the ID for the ideology itself. If this is for a custom-made ideology, then you would use the the ID you have for that. So yeah. So this is pretty simple. We could do the descriptions and all that. So actually, I forgot to change this one. So this is actually 59. This would be 60. That's funny. But people make mistakes. So we could just do a short description. Texan voters side with Mexican annexation. So let's say Texan voters have decided to abandon the US and join Mexico. So for all these events, you can obviously get pictures for them. You can make your own, which I made a video about a year ago, which I will put a card to now. And those are pretty easy to do. I showed also how to do news events, news event pictures as well. Those are even easier. So, hooray! So that will be the response. And then for this one, let's say Texan voters have voted to stay in the US. So let's say Texan voters have decided to cave to American propaganda and decided to stay as a part of to remain in the United States. And remember, when you're doing these descriptions, that you have the quotation marks, and make sure that everything is just perfect like this. If you don't, if there's some sort of problem with the localization, then that's likely the problem. You did something relating to the quotation marks, or maybe you just use the incorrect letter, I guess, or ID, which is possible, but it's not anything difficult to fix. So let's just say sad. So let's say there's also a news event that fires as a result. So you can get news event here, the code. So let's just get rid of that. Let's say it goes in like immediately after. Basically, you click on this and the news event fires if you set this to 0. So this is where we're gonna make a news event, which they're very easy. You don't really have to do much for them. So let's just get the ID news.338. So this just goes for the entire world, obviously. You could put a picture there. I didn't make one, but it's always necessary. I did make this like for an event picture here. So let's say just add this here. You can add it anywhere. Just remember, if you're using the base game file and like it's this exact name, just make sure you don't like delete everything there, because that can cause a lot of errors to occur. So let's just say we add this event picture here. So this could be for like the victory event, and then there will be one like for the defeat. So let's just find a news event. I don't know, we'll just pick a random number, 33. Why not? Actually, let's just see. Get something that can work well, I guess. Let's use news event. Yeah, sure, let's just use that one. So you just would copy that, you'd add it here. I would get rid of that. So with the news event options, you can have there be different responses based on which country you are. So let's say if you're the United States in this scenario, like you're like, oh, those bastards decided to join Mexico, and like, you know, it's an angry response. But for Mexico, it can be, you know, celebratory, and like they're excited. So and then you could have an option for everyone else. This is important because if you don't set an option for everyone else, they won't have a response, and it'll just be blank text, and that obviously doesn't always look good. So let's say you can't be the US or Mexico. So I'm gonna fix this. There you go. So you're not any of those, and that'd be the response for other countries. So let's just write, I guess, a short description. Mexico annexes Texas, and get the description. Mexico has officially annexed the U.S. state of Texas in a surprising referendum. A surprising referendum agreed upon by a majority of Texan voters. And let's just say this is the U.S. response. Say how terrible! Exclamation point. And Mexico, let's just say hooray again. So, and for everyone else, interesting. So we'll have the other news event for this is like the same thing, but you know, it's just a different if something else happens. So I usually just copy and paste. I mean, you can write everything line by line if you want. I mean, I could. It's just less efficient, and efficiency is a big thing for me. So I want to be as efficient and as possible. So you can I just copy and paste this stuff and change stuff around. It's kind of what Hoi4 modding mostly is, really, unless you're doing more complex UI stuff, which can take more time and more brain power. So let's just say here, let's get a different event picture, use event picture to differentiate. So let's just use, I guess, this one, use event 16. So let's copy that, put this under here. So now we do the, if the referendum is defeated, so Mexican referendum to annex Texas fails. So say description, the people of Texas have decided to remain a part of the United States in a referendum this month. So this is the American response. Say as they should. And Mexico is like, whatever. And let's say the rest of the world is like, okay. So yeah, that'd be how you would do basic events. I will now go into the game and I will show how this event would work in game. So I'm back now, and I've loaded in as Mexico. Also another thing I forgot to mention is when you're doing an event that will trigger via an event, or focus or decision again, etc. You have to get rid of this trigger thing here. You can keep fire only once on, but you have to put this here, is triggered only equals yes, and if you don't do that, then the event will not trigger. So we're just gonna wait for the event to fire. Sometimes the events fire like a little bit later on, past a certain date. So we'll see. Oh, here we go. So it's funny, you got the same event. Okay. So the state of Texas has agreed. Oh yeah, this is, I actually forgot the second option. This is if you want to not have the referendum. So let's just say interesting. So the referendum will likely happen. So we're just gonna wait till probably like around the end of the month, and the event will trigger. There we go. So Texan voters side with Mexican annexation. Texas voters have decided to abandon the U.S. and Mexico, and you can see the event. So you'll be getting these events. That second event is another country event. The first one is the news event, which I did. So we do this. So then we get the news event. Mexico annexes Texas. Hooray. And now Mexico, Texas is an occupied state. So there will be an event that will trigger soon. Here, Texans riot against Mexican rule. Sad. That's weird. I think. Oh, that's weird. Why didn't the? Oh, wait a second. Oh, I think that's just because I'm not using debug mode, and yeah, it didn't do it, but it's fine. Anyways, it's sad. So that's like if you go down there, I'll just show you the other way, and that'll be it for this video. So I'll just get right back to that, and I will see you once I get to it again. So I'm back, and we're gonna wait for the event to fire again. And we're gonna pick the second option so the referendum does not happen. So, the second option. So, I'll show also one more thing afterwards involving like events triggering, and you'll see. We're just gonna wait till like 30th or 1st of February. So we get Texan voters have voted to stay in the U.S. Sad. And then we get the news event or whatever. Oh yeah, just to show that like this works for other countries, like with their responses. Let's go to the U.S. The event is news.339. So you see, as they should. So let's just go to, I guess, Cuba, or actually let's do France, whatever. So let's go up, and then the response is just okay. So that is what works for that. I'm gonna work on the other one since I did it separately. So, anyways, one last thing, which I must mention. If you do have problems with events not triggering, you can trigger events via the console, which I just did. So let's just do 58. So if you actually see this here, it will show the event actually like it shows like if you actually fulfilled the requirements. So if you didn't fulfill like any requirements, then there'd be an X next to it. So this can be useful if you don't know like why these events aren't triggering. So that can be useful in that way. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was a bit long, but this video wasn't really anything confusing or complex really. If you have questions, or maybe want to see me do something else, I'm always glad to do a different video on something more complex, I guess. Maybe tech trees, I don't know. But really anything you guys want. So if you want more, like and subscribe. And of course, I wish you all have a great day. And of course, you can join the Boże Czosposkie Discord server, which I will link in the description down below. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Personally, subscribe for more again. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. I'll see you all in the next video. Farewell.